Hey everyone! Alright, so here's our next tutorial, and as you can see, it looks like someone just grabbed the skin, ripped it, and put a staple in it to hold it. Yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about the actual look. Anything else you can just see, so yeah, let's just go right ahead and get the tutorial started. Now the first thing that you're going to need is like either a flat piece of metal or something silver, like you could use aluminum foil, gum wrapper, I don't know, you can use whatever. But what I'm using is this, it's just a bunch of actual staples. You can see there's quite a few of them and they're glued together on the back, like they're not going to come apart. And the way that I did this is I just took a little piece of plastic and then I cut it to how thick I'm going to want my staple to be, and then I just took super glue on the back and then glued the piece of plastic to it so that way they won't break apart, because you know regular staples break apart easily, so I don't have to worry about them breaking. And then I just went in with wire cutters, and you can see that that little leg part or whatever on each side isn't as long as it used to be. It's a lot shorter, like you can see, so that way it'll still lay on my skin flat, but it's got those little parts that go back to make it look more realistic and three-dimensional. So that's how I did that, but I'm just going to take it and then I'm going to figure out where I want my skin to look like it was pulled. So I'm just going to go right there, and then I'm just going to take a little brush that's got a little bit of product on it. I'm just going to use my black Krylon aqua color, but you can use whatever, it doesn't matter. And then I'm just going to make a little mark at the top of each side. Now, depending on if you want to use fake skin or not, it's going to change how you do this. Like, if you were to pull this skin and just pull it all the way down there, I can guarantee it would not just stretch and you'd have like a tear right here. So you could extend it out to here and then do a little fake skin right there so you have a little bump. And then you could do fake skin all the way down the edge of this if you want it even more three-dimensional. So you would just draw your line wherever or however you would want it to go. But now I'm just going in with red Krylon aqua color, and I'm just going to paint that inside of my black line. Now you'll notice I didn't take the red all the way up to my lash line, and that's because we're pretending the skin was pulled down. And even if you just go like that and pull it down, oh look, you see more of my eyeball. So I'm just going to go in with this color. This is Vow by Illamasqua. It's just a pencil because I don't want it to be super white. So I'm just going to use this because it's more of a creamy color. And then I'm just going to draw on the area where you can feel that your eye is before, like, you can feel like the socket. So just fill in this whole area. Now I'm going to show you how to shade the skin around here if you don't use any fake skin. It's actually really easy. You're just going to go in with any kind of brush and you're going to use any kind of eyeshadow, face powder, anything like that that's darker than your actual skin tone. I'm just going to use a powder because I'm going to have to rub it off, but you just go in and then right under this like little lip right here, you're going to put a line underneath like that. So you can see I have that line drawn on, and then what you're going to do is you're just going to pull down and out to blend it, so you're creating a shadow. So you can see now that looks really realistic. It's really gross. You can add even more depth to the shadow if you want to. It's your call pretty much. Now I'm just going to go in with a lighter color and add a little bit of a highlight just to make it stand out a little bit more. I'm just using a light colored concealer. You can use any kind of brush to do this. I'm just going to use a lip brush, and you only want to add a little bit. You don't want super highlight because remember, we want this to look as real as possible. So just very lightly, right by the red and that darker black line, I'm going to go in and add this highlight. And then since I'm not going to use fake skin, I'm actually going to put a highlight on this area right here, where I'm going to make it look like the skin was ripped up there. And I'm going to blend that up and out. Now I'm just going to go in with a burgundy color, just something like that. If you don't have this and you're using like Halloween grease paint, just take your black and your red and mix a little bit together. And on the inside of the open wound, or whatever you want to call it, just around the edge of all these areas where there would be like a shadow, I'm just going to apply it there. So right there in the inner corner, then I'm going to do one right there. And I don't know if you noticed or not, but the shape that I'm doing up here matches the shape right here. So it's not going to be perfectly even. And then I'm also going to line right on top of that highlight that I already added. So now we have that, and what I started to do right here is I'm just taking that same brush and I'm just blending everything up and out. Now I'm going to go in with another brush with black on it, and very, very, very lightly, I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the burgundy. Now I'm going to go in and start adding the shine. What I did is I just took this little like dampen dish, and then I filled it with MAC's clear gloss, not lip gloss, it's just a multi-purpose gloss. I filled it with that, and I'm not using a lip gloss only because I'm going to get really, really close to my eye. I'm not going to tell you what you should or shouldn't do, because either way you're going to choose for yourself if you want to listen or not, but you don't really want to use lip gloss that close to your eyes, so find like an eye gloss if you can. But I'm going to take that on a brush just on its own, and I'm actually going to apply that on top of the vow. Now I just went in and I mixed a little bit of that red and that burgundy pigment in there, and then I also mixed in a little bit of blue to make it the color of blood or something similar, because I don't have fake blood. But now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put that all over. And of course the last thing to do to your eye would be to glue on your staple. You can use whatever you want to do this. I'm just going to use lash glue. And then while that dries, you could have done this earlier, but I'm just going to do it now because it's easier since I have this in place. Take that brush and that darker color you used earlier for your contour underneath here, and then you're going to do the same thing, but this time you're going to do it underneath. So you have that, and then you're going to highlight as well. So I'm just going to use the pencil because it's easier. And with your finger, Q-tip, smudger brush, anything like that, just go ahead and blend that out. I just went in after I was done contouring and highlighting with that brush I used earlier for the red, and you can see I just put a little bit of red underneath there. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take that blood that I made, the fake blood, and then I'm going to push that right underneath. And then for more of an effect, I'm actually going to streak some down. Alright, I was done with the look and then I was like, I need more. So I'm just going to explain what I just did. Yeah, it's really simple. Instead of just contouring underneath, you can see I put a little bit of a contour above just to put more of a wrinkle in the skin. Then I highlighted right next to the staple, and then I just went in and kind of did a C and then a backward C right here to create another shadow, to make it look like the staple is actually under the skin, pushing it up a little bit. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I added to it. It's nothing major. You can see just based off of the rest of the look, you can know how to do it. So that actually completes the look. So yeah, until my next video, I will talk to all of you soon. Bye.